So I was always interested in natural science, and I love being outdoors, and that, I would say, comes from us going on vacations, camping, going on walks, and from Boy Scouts, spending a lot of time outside. And so when I went into college, I knew I wanted to do something with science, probably in environmental science, and I found that I really liked working with birds. They're an animal, when you study them, you can get sort of very close to, and you have this connection to them. And I don't think it's just me as a researcher too. I think we as people feel that. We put out bird feeders, we put out bird houses. They're very observable and unique and individualized. It's you can see the personalities, and so I find that a lot of fun to work with. So I started working here in 2012, running the long-term bird banding program, which we can use to study how birds are responding to climate change and how they're persisting through our human-impacted environment. And at the same time, while we have captured these birds and are continuing to try and apply bands and understand their biology, we can do other research with them. So we can study their migration through miniaturized transmitters, we can study their perception of glass, all to the effect of trying to conserve birds, which are an important part of our world. We band about 10,000 birds a year. We get most of them in the fall when the young have hatched and are starting to work their way south. So we get about probably 7,000 in the fall. And we'll get about 2,000-ish in the spring, and then we're getting some breeding birds. So this is one of our mist nets, and it's called a mist net because it hangs like mist and it's very difficult to see. This is commonly used to capture birds. It's catching a little bit of the wind here. But what will happen is, on this net, which is set on the dike, these swallows that are flying around, or other species, will be trying to get from one side of the dike to another. And if they hit this net without seeing it, they'll fall into the pocket. And we will go around and very carefully take the birds out of the net and out of this pocket and put them into a cloth bag that's much like a little pillowcase. And it calms them down and keeps them safe until we can bring them back to the lab and put the band on it. If birds are going to adapt to climate change, at least what we call these neotropical migrants, the birds that are coming from the New World tropics, they have to be able to breed earlier. They have to essentially get busy as soon as they arrive to get those nestlings out at a time where there's the most food available to provide for them. And so understanding how each species are responding will help us conserve the habitat and also hopefully raise awareness to try and limit our effect on the climate, to try and persuade people to make changes.